Coming to you live from the basement of an abandoned training facility where we talk about fighting, training, and events. It's the Fight Mixer Show, where you can hear about all the local and world combat sports happenings. Get ready. It's time to gear up and square up because we're going live on the Fight Mixer Show.
What's going on? Welcome to part 2 of the Fight Mixer. We are here with undefeated BKFC fighter, 12-6 MMA fighter. What's going on, you badass?
Oh man, I got done training, come home, did an interview, did another interview. Starting.
Yeah, I seen that. You double booked us for Chris. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, I did one with Christopher James. Yeah, man, I'm not good at this stuff. I'm just good at this. They started people were contacting me about set times and stuff. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do that. And then James or Vince is like, no, right. You're supposed to do this at that time. I'm like, right. So now I just send them.
It's all good. I was like, I'll move him.
I gotta talk to Vince. Sorry.
I was like, I'll move him to 9:30. It's fine. And Chris is a good. Chris is a really good interviewer too. So.
Oh, nice. Good deal.
So you better step your game up. Is what he's
Next
saying.
fight coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
With Chris Leben.
Oh man, yeah, right.
So your next fight coming up is with
me. It's cool. Hey man, I'm fun too.
Help Quentin's a good interviewer. He popped my cherry.
Fuck yeah.
That's right. I did. I was gentle.
So your next fight is against an MMA legend. Obviously, we just got off the line with Chris Leben. You're coming off 2 incredible wins, back-to-back first-round knockouts, and finishing those fights. And now you're going to be fighting a guy who's notorious for entertaining fights. You say you're going to give him a glorious death. Tell me what you think about Chris Leben and what are your thoughts heading into this bout.
Man, it's an honor to get to fight him. Everybody's kept up with him since the Ultimate Fighter. He's a very well-known fighter, and he's a guy that comes to fight, and that's why he's well-known. And you got to respect somebody like that, no matter what the record is or what they've done. That dude comes to fight every time. I just wish kind of the format that bare knuckle has would have been a little more prevalent when he was in when it was more about how entertaining you are, instead of just about who you got wins over type of deal, because that dude was seriously underpaid as far as an entertainer goes.
Right. Definitely underpaid. Definitely, for what he did and what he contributed to mixed martial arts. And we were just talking to him about this. I mean, I grew up watching him, The Ultimate Fighter 1, and back old school cage trading with Gladiator Challenge, and of course with WC. Like he just like Gabe helped build this sport to what it is today. And definitely, he helped build the UFC. Now he's come to BKFC, he's come to bare knuckle, and you get to be his last fight. I mean, this is a legend. Did you ever think in your MMA career that you would be the last fight, the last dance for such a prominent figure in mixed martial arts?
I didn't expect Chris Leben of all people, really. I always kept up with him, and then you don't ever want to fight the guys that you like, So that was kind of the deal. But I never, man, to be honest with you, I never really expected a lot from it. When I was younger and I first started off, and I had wild dreams, all these other things, and then finally, when I realized it was so easy to do that, I learned that better off just trying to enjoy myself. And, make the most of what I was doing instead of trying to kill myself and make it a job. So, as far as, I never thought I was going to be a bare knuckle boxer. Like, I didn't think that was going to be a thing. Like, I totally could see, like, you'd have told me that 15 years ago, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd totally do that shit. But I didn't know that it was going to be legal, and getting the fight, Chris Leben, and then people talk about me fighting Hector Lombard. Hector Lombard was the first professional show I ever went and watched. Both working here at Monroe. He fought main event, and he starts this in like -8 seconds or something. It was like, I don't know. As soon as they come out, he dropped the dude, fought main event. But that was the first pro fight I ever watched. And now I'm like ranked right behind him. I was 20. I was still here back then.
Now, what happened with that fight?
What's that with the fight?
The Hector. I saw that. I looked at your Instagram. You were slated to fight Hector Lombard, but that fight didn't happen, or what was the deal with that?
No. It was never like slated or anything. It was just like when the rankings came out, he was number 1 and I was number 2. So there was like to talk about it or whatever. Like there was never like anything like signed or offered. I never heard anything speculated. The only time when we talked to bare knuckle was Chris Leben. And we're like, all right, so that's just what we went with. We're not really trying to pick and choose people, and to get in the fight Chris is a big deal. Just the level that he's at, I guess the respect he has in the sport, as you get to fight guys like that, you get a little piece of that, especially if you go out there and you beat them. So, it's a big deal. It's not like a stepping stone, but I call it piggyback. If I can take out a guy like that, then that makes me legitimate. And that's this opportunity I've been looking for.
And with this fight, you beat Chris Leben, you beat someone in his last fight, his last dance. Your stock rises that much higher. Chris Leben is a very interesting cat. His entire career, he's been able to withstand damage, withstand any type of things that are thrown at him. You can hit him with a fucking kitchen sink, and he's gonna come back swinging. He knows how to bring people in the dark waters. And obviously, in your last 2 performances, you fucking dollywop both of them. Like, what's your strategy going in this fight? How do you plan to proceed with a guy who knows how to take shots, knows how to give them out? Like, what's your strategy?
It's easy to take shots and go into deep water that are accurate. You know what I mean? He has done it with a lot of people, but he didn't do that with Anderson Silva. But there's a difference in somebody that brawls, and there's a difference in somebody who throws accurate punches and throws punches that count. I'm not in there to brawl, and I'm not in there to break my hands. I'm there to break his chin with my fist. And it don't matter how tough you are. If I hit you in the chin with my left or my right hand, you will go unconscious. There's no doubt about that in my mind. If you don't go out when I hit you, because I didn't hit you right. And that's the difference in me and a lot of these guys. They think every punch is the same, and it's not. And I'm just looking at that one, and everybody's got the one. And when he fought Anderson Silva, he found it. It's there. But Chris's biggest advantage, I think, in a lot of his stuff. Yeah, he's a super tough guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything. You can't argue that. He's a very tough guy, but there's a certain way you have to fight a guy like that. You're not going to break his head. You're not going to hit him hard in the head to stop him. You gotta pick different things out. You can't try and brawl with a brawler. That's what he's known for, and that's why he's famous, and that's why he's beat a lot of people. Because even me, for example, my fight with Bubba, it was basically a brawl, but that was back when I wasn't really polished. I think I was noticed, but there's a way to fight everybody, and I think I'm the type of fighter that he hadn't seen before, and I think we can make it happen for sure. I'd get wrong if I didn't think I could beat him. It's no disrespect. It's just kind of.
Well, go ahead.
Sorry.
Okay. You're saying that you're polished. What have you done to fix your skill set to change it up? Is it a new trainer? Is it new sparring partners? Is it more just work? What's the thing that has made you more polished than you were before?
Dedication, I guess. Motivation.
You weren't dedicated before?
I always have had so many irons in the fire one time my whole life, trying to keep up. I had my first kid when I was 20, You hear all these stories about these guys, these sob stories. They're like, oh man, that guy lived in the gym, because he didn't pay rent and all he did was train. Well, that dude was lucky. You know what I mean? That dude had zero responsibilities to try and become a fighter, and all he got to do was fight all day. That's what you dream to do if you're a fighter. I had a kid when I was 20. Loved my daughter to death. Never regret it. Nothing like that. But the path I took, I had way more responsibilities that were bigger than myself at a very young age, and trying to juggle those as a grown up, and still fight at the same level that I was doing. I was getting by, but I was only getting by because I was talented. I wasn't getting by because I was working hard. And eventually that kind of catches up with you. And I still think there were some fights that I had lost, and I was getting by the way I was doing it, but there was so much more I could have done to do it right. And when the Bubba came up with the barrel fight, I had retired at that point. I wasn't even fighting anymore. They just offered it to me, and I was like, hell yeah, let me. I'm not gonna say that I turned down a bare knuckle fight and didn't do it. Like, I'm gonna do this. And, so went through that, and after I had that fight, and the little momentum got going, and we had the corner and all that, everything shut down. I mean, I didn't have anything else. That's kind of what I have a family on that. Like, they're constant, but I left the fire department to start running some businesses that I had opened up, so that in my gyms that I own, so I could have more time to train and more time with my family. And I went from just everything going 90 to nothing, all my gyms making money, all my shops doing good, to just overnight gone, pretty much, when they came out with all these stipulations and everything, and it still hasn't recovered. But all I had left was fighting. And before, I used to just make time for fighting in my life, and now I make time around fighting, type of deal. So, I got a good schedule that I've been on for the longest. I finally decided, we're going to do this bare knuckle thing, because I had some ups and downs trying to get contact and see what was going in. I just didn't feel like it was worth it. But when we finally got some contact, got serious about it. And, you don't get this opportunity very often. And, I've had other opportunities in my career that I feel like, passed me by for whatever reason. And I feel like, even if I'd been chosen for those opportunities, would I have been ready for it? At the time. So, that's how I am. And, now these opportunities are coming around. I'm not worry about it. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing.
So I got a question from Vince Anderson. Big shout out to Vince Anderson. Ask what was what his last opponent gave him at the weigh-ins, because nobody has talked about that.
Oh yeah, he gave me some coins. There were $2 pieces, and he said these are for the boatman.
Wait, what?
Like for the boatman.
The boatman.
For me across the river of Styx. Like in Greek mythology and stuff. I was like, damn, okay. He talked to me like that, right?
You're supposed to like put them on your eyes, right?
And what's funny is that he thought that I was done. So like, he thought that I wouldn't get it, but I did. And I'm like, okay, bitch. Okay. And as soon as they took them, I took them from him. I'm like, I'll cash these bitches tomorrow. I promise you. It was like, so I kept them in my sock and threw them back in after I knocked him out.
How long did that fight last for, by the way? So after he gave you the 2 coins, and then you guys fought, it lasted for like what, a minute and 50 seconds, just around there?
It was 25 seconds.
Oh, 25 seconds. Okay, never mind. All right, fair enough.
Right.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was 25 seconds. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So after this, what's your game plan? Like after you fight Chris Leben, win or lose, like who do you want to fight next? Do you want to go for a belt? Do you want to, maybe take some time off? What's the game plan?
Man, I'm not one of those people that plan ahead past a certain point. I get too disorganized. I try and plan too far ahead. My wife's like, "What are we doing Saturday?" I'm like, I don't know. It's not Friday yet. I don't plan for Saturday till Friday. So, I'm kind of one of those people. Win or lose, hopefully, post fight, It depends on how, if I got any injuries or whatever, have to heal. I mean, but I'm ready to get back training, immediately. It's just what I do now. It's part of my routine. It's harder for me not to train. It is to just keep training. So I mean, I'll be ready if they call or they want something to go down. I mean, as far as the standings go, I don't really like to get, I mean, I am number 2, Hector's number 1. I mean, if I beat Chris, then that would make me 3-0, and he's 2-0. So that would make me number 1, maybe. I don't know. Do I care?
Wouldn't you have to fight? Wouldn't you have to fight Hector for that spot?
What's that?
Wouldn't you have to fight Hector for the number 1 spot since he's already seated there?
I don't know how that works. I don't know shit. I'm just speculating.
I mean, is that the fight you want? That should be the fight you want, right? You should want to fight Hector, right?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, I was totally.
I mean, he's number 1 guy. That's like that. I mean, when you're number 2, the only way to get number 1 is to beat number 1's ass.
Right, but to see, if I fight number 1, it's for the belt. It's not for the number 1 spot.
So who's the champion in the division?
There isn't one. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
So Hector, then it needs to be for a belt. Because I mean, technically he's the champion, but I mean, there's not one, just because it's vacant type of deal. But I think that they're trying to let the division build up a little more, because I don't think there's really that many guys in the 205 division. I've heard that there's some type of they have to have so many sanctioned bouts in each weight class before they can have like a title or something, and unless they have a tournament, maybe. Don't quote me on any of this because I'm probably wrong, but that's why I don't really like to get into it. I mean, there's so few of us that have had so many fights. There's only like 2 or 3 fights that we've had, so it's hard to really say who's better than who without us.
So, Hero, I gotta drop an idea on you.
But first, he's gonna completely.
Okay, so once you become a name, just by like.
All
right, yeah.
Well, and he's gone.
Was I cutting out?
All right.
Oh, shit.
On me, bro.
That was straight in.
You're completely cutting out, David.
You did David. You did ninja
Here's
shit,
my
Dave.
idea, okay? So what we gotta do is, after you fight Chris Leben, we call up Jake Paul and you smack the shit out of him. What do you think?
You mean with a twisted T?
A bunch of people tagged me about fighting Jake Paul. I would do that. I bet I would make so much money fighting him. That would be, and it
you
would
want to fuck him up?
He's talking about fighting like pro fighters, but real fighters are hurt him. It's a big difference.
You would fucking dollywop the shit out of him. You would literally fucking give him Vietnam flashbacks. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, man, because being a fighter, Dave, you fought, right? You know about all this. Like, people, there are human beings out there that will look at you as number 2 fighter in the world and just go, I could probably take him. Guys sitting on their couch are sitting there saying that. Nobody's looking at LeBron James thinking they could dunk on him or take him in one-on-one. You know what I mean? It's like, there's all these type of deals. It's just crazy to me, man.
I could not beat LeBron James 1-on-1, but I'd beat his ass.
Well, because you're a fighter. So, I mean, that's my point. You know what I'm saying? Like, but there's people sitting on the couch eating potato chips that think they can beat up. I'm like, why? Like, I don't even want to beat you. I will. They just don't realize that there's a bigger difference. And the guys like Jake Paul, it's entertaining and all, but he's making other people think that there's not levels to this, and there are. And Jake Paul is way too young to even be anywhere near that level, or way too old when he started. There's. You got to be doing this your whole life to be on that level. I mean, Floyd Mayweather probably comes out of the womb with his fucking hands wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason he's one of the greatest in the world, is because he's been doing it since birth. You don't just hop on after being a YouTube star and pay for some couple of sponsors and trainers, and now you're going to go beat up Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, my personal opinion is, I better call the IRS, because Jake Paul's ass is like 2 years overdue. Like, somebody's got to hand him his ass. Somebody's got to deliver him an ass whooping. Why not come over to BKFC? If you want to be a fighter, you got to live that fighter lifestyle. Yeah. Like, come on. Hero versus Jake Paul. It's a perfect fucking fight.
He'd be like, who the fuck is that guy? They're like, who is
The
that?
thing is,
You know?
the thing is, Jake Paul will not fight real fighters. He's making plenty of money fighting basketball players and people that
Oh
are,
yeah.
YouTube stars. Like, he has no. He will talk. He will talk because that's what you do when you're a YouTube sensation. But he's not going to fight anybody.
I think people take that guy too seriously because I mean he's making a killing. He's making so much money, and we're here talking about him on a legitimate fight show right now, and he's like,
Yeah.
So who's really the claim? You know, we're making him
I'll
more
tell
money
you,
right now.
He has a multi-million-dollar house in Calabasas.
Yeah,
His house in Calabasas is ridiculous.
I don't hate that dude's hustle. I'm trying. Hey, better yet, instead of fighting Jake Paul, y'all get him to pay me to come out there and spar with him. How about that? He can pay me to train him for his next fight. Y'all get that out there. I'll jump on that other side of that. You know, I don't hate. You know, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know, it's not his fault. He's making crazy money being a clown and enjoying himself.
Exactly.
I'll come hang out.
Touche. So we're gonna let you go. Any last word? Any last words? Anything you want to say? Obviously, coming up, BKFC, February 5th, fighting Chris Leben. Any last words? Where can we find you? Shout out to sponsors. I leave the floor to you, my friend.
Yeah, Quentin the Hero Henry on Facebook. That's my fan page. I've got I got ADD, so I got to read these things when you put them up, bro. Y'all got to keep me doing that to me. Quentin is the pro. Sure, you're right, Eric. Jake Paul will take out from the Hero. That's right, he would. So, all right, so I'm over there. So, my sponsors, let me do that first before I mess that up. We got Traxler Chiropractic, got Traxler, PRP Speed Shop. They pick my truck up, and all that, but they're also sponsoring me for the show here in the West Monroe. And then Armed Forces Roofing Construction, and my wife and all that. And then, but what was I saying before I got interrupted about the comment?
You're talking about sponsors. Naming sponsors.
Yeah, right. So Hero Henry is what I'm at on Instagram. My Twitter's only got like 500 people, so I ain't worried about that. Hero Henry too. I'm on Snapchat, Hero Henry. I'm pretty interactive with my fans for the most part. I mean, as far as anything I want out there, it's I'm a normal dude. I've always been a normal guy, and this is all kind of been surreal for the most part, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. And I'm just appreciating the ride as I go. You know what I mean? Like I train because I want to feel better. I train for myself. I train for mental health and just to be physical in general. You know, I just eat because I can. And, to be in my shape and the prime that I am, I compete to test myself and see where I'm at. So, I was telling a guy earlier today, I've already been blessed plenty of times as far as, when it comes to fighting in MMA and martial arts and what it's brought life just in general. So getting to fight Chris Leben or, whether he starches me or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, this is all just icing on the cake to me, man. I got nothing to lose. So I'm just enjoying the ride.
Fuck yeah, man. And I can't wait to interview you too. I'm going to be Matt's roommate, so literally for a weekend. So I can't wait for you to be my first interview when I come down. So
nice.
Appreciate your time. Looking forward to the fight. You are the man, Mr. Hero. Thank you very much for coming on the show, my friend.
Absolutely. Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me, guys.
Good skill, my man.
Thanks, man.
All right. Fuck yeah, man. Two great interviews. Really Gabe, final thoughts.
I'm interested in that fight. I'm not really a fight enthusiast. But I mean, look, I'll be honest. I haven't seen Quentin Henry fight at all. It sounds like he's got heavy hands. I mean, if he's getting 20-second knockouts, I know that it'll be a good fight, and I'm interested in it. Yeah,
I'm just glad that I didn't have to send the Tapology over to you for Chris Leben. So
you know what? I actually looked him up on SureDog. So.
Oh yeah,
I knew he was.
It was so fucking awesome talking to like Chris Leben. Like, oh my god, I can fucking go on for days and days about Chris Leben. But like, the same thing about you, Gabe. You guys helped build the sport, so obviously you guys are fucking the legends of the game. But having Chris Leben on. Getting to watch his last fight with a great opponent, Quentin Henry, who's a star on the rise. Fucking awesome show. I can't wait to watch BKFC. February 5th. Remember to download the BKFC app. Only $5, you cheap bastards. Don't legally stream it, or I'm coming for you. Anywho, so
and let's download the Fight Mixer app while you're in there looking for the BKFC app. Come on now.
Good stuff. Yeah,
it's absolutely free. No subscription. You get all this content. I got more podcasts coming.
Exactly.
So, David, come on now.
I actually agree with what he says for once.
Seriously. Change your name to Campex.
David's coming out February. Quentin's coming out to my house February. Gabe, I'd love to have you come out to Florida.
I would love to come to Florida. I have to have a long talk with the wife on that one. And I'm not sure if I'm going to make it out for the February, but I'll definitely be out there at some point.
Is the gym back up and running, by the way? Your jiu-jitsu school. Everything back up and running, good to go?
Kaiju MMA and fitness is not open.
Don't call them.
I was trying to plug your gym, Gabe.
I appreciate that. No, it's we're back. We're a speakeasy at this point.
Sometimes you have barbecue.
We're a speakeasy. That's what we are.
The family has barbecues there once in a while.
Exactly. Well, it's more of a religious thing at this point. And we have communion where we try to kill each other. It's very therapeutic and very, very spiritual.
If you need some throat hugs, talk to this guy.
Every day.
Absolutely.
You will meet your maker. Amen.
Yes. Former WBC champion, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, one of the bad motherfuckers, Mr. Gabe. Definitely come out to his gym, talk to him, message him on the low because the gym's not open. Definitely talk to Mr. Gabe over here. So, boys and girls, all my hoes in different area codes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the edition of the Fight Mixer for Thursday. We'll see you next week. Signing off, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for tonight. Have a good one. Peace.
Perfect.